Alright guys, the masks have fallen. Or have they? A performance artist just dropped a bombshell on the internet and it went totally viral. He claimed he was the Jim Carrey in France, everyone. It wasn't the Illuminati, it has nothing to do with the Epstein case, it was nothing like that. It was supposedly just a guy in a rubber mask who pulled a fast one on the entire world. How is that even possible? Is this actually true or just a genius marketing stunt? Who is this guy? Stay until the end, because the answer seems simple, but it's actually much more complicated than you can even imagine. People flipped out over Jim Carrey's last appearance at an awards show in France, where his face looked very different. Long hair, dyed black, a far cry from the image of the actor we all remembered. He showed up there looking like a totally different person. Not to mention his behavior was much more subdued. Then the doubt kicked in. Was that really him? What was going on? Did they clone the guy? Why did I decide to make a video about this? Guys, Jim Carrey is a hell of an actor and his success is undeniable. As a fan of comics, superheroes, and pop culture, I've had a lot of contact with his movies, especially The Mask, which remains my favorite of his because of the character. I really love The Mask. On top of that, Jim Carrey was the Riddler himself in Batman Forever, which is a movie somewhat dear to a portion of Bat fans, even though it's more of a flamboyant version of Batman. I confess, I like Jim Carrey's Riddler in that movie, even if he's not my favorite Riddler. And besides all that, in recent years, the actor played Robotnik in all 3 Sonic movies. So as a fan of the guy, I think it's only fair to comment on all this with you and bring you all the info. But back to the big drama. To complicate the whole situation regarding the massive theories that stopped pop culture in its tracks these past few days, Jim Carrey has been talking since 2014 about dirt behind the scenes in Hollywood. He's been saying there's a global conspiracy to control the population, that kind of thing, right? Even mentioning the Illuminati. You've probably seen that interview he did on Jimmy Kimmel. The man might have annoyed some important people. Could it be that after all these years, only now they'd put an end to him? Is that it? Well, the answers have surfaced, and they are right here in this video. But before that, go ahead and comment. Is this Jim Carrey an imposter in disguise? Was it really a clone or just someone who had plastic surgery? Comment down below and I'll get back to you. So let's get into it. Who is Alex Stone? You might not know him, but he's a performance artist who specializes in the art of disguising himself as other people. Got it? He's already been Jack Nicholson, Robin Williams, Glenn Close, Donatella Versace, and several other personalities. The quality of this guy's characterization is surreal. It's truly surreal. This guy is a beast. Out of nowhere, Alex Stone posted on Instagram claiming he was a Jim Carrey in Paris. He posted archive photos and even the pieces of a synthetic mask, like something out of Mission Impossible. Mystery solved? On the contrary, now the rabbit hole goes even deeper. But there's also another Jim Carrey movie that might bring an even more bizarre explanation for all this. I'm talking about the movie Man on the Moon. The movie flopped at the box office, right? A lot of people didn't even understand the sense of humor in there. A lot of people were just confused. That was exactly the point. Man on the Moon was a biopic about comedian Andy Kaufman, who was way ahead of his time and loved to provoke his audience. Andy Kaufman, man, he was rough. He loved to pull pranks on his own audience, you know? He loved to throw the rules out the window and loved to confuse people. The guy broke expectations. He made the audience doubt their own reality. Just to give you an idea, Andy Kaufman's final joke was his own death. Look at that, man. The guy was such a prankster that many people didn't believe he had actually died. In fact, there are a lot of people who believe Andy Kaufman is not dead and is alive to this day, okay? One of the proofs that he might be still alive was the appearance of one of his characters a year after the funeral. It was Kaufman himself playing the role, tricking the audience. Or was it his friend? It was part of the final joke. We're talking about 1985 here. Meaning, guys, since 1985, there's been this idea that it's possible for a disguised person to play the role of someone else, okay? And then cut to the one of the biggest fans of Andy Kaufman's work. Cut to the person who made a point of reviving the guy's name, of making the movie about the guy, you understand? Cut to the person who made Man on the Moon for the theaters, Jim Carrey. Look at that, against everyone and everything, even with low box office numbers. This is the type of humor Jim Carrey personally enjoys, the story of a master of deception, someone who mocked the system and their own audience, right? The tables turned, and a performance about Jim Carrey emerged. So it's layers upon layers. Do you know what Andy Kaufman and Alex Stone have in common? They both define themselves as performance artists. Kaufman made a point of saying he wasn't a comedian, he was someone who created unusual situations. Do you see how the dots connect, guys? However, guys, a technical analysis of Alex Stone's last photo shows that the image of the Jim Carrey mask was fabricated with AI. The mask is fake, guys. Officially, the story is much less mysterious. Jim Carrey was in France to receive an honorary award for his life's work, an award presented by the Caesar Awards. The event organizers were surprised by the controversy and published an official statement about Jim Carrey. In the official note, it's clarified that it was Jim Carrey himself and that the event was a historic moment. According to the organization, it was all arranged over the course of 8 months. Jim Carrey practiced his speech in French during that entire time. He made sure to nail the pronunciation. In other words, if Jim Carrey seemed more subdued during the speech, it's because he was speaking in another language, man. He was taking all the care in the world to not mess up. So it was a nice gesture he made, all that care he took. And now comes a detail that shuts down all the conspiracy theories. The official event note says the following: Jim Carrey was accompanied by his partner, his daughter, his grandson, and 12 close friends and family members. His longtime publicist was also present. His old friend Michel Gondry, with whom he worked on a film, was also there. Both were very happy to reunite. Guys, the man went with his family. The man went with friends. But now I want to ask you, would an imposter have been able to deceive family, close friends, his personal publicist, and colleagues he's had for decades? Do you think so? Let's be realistic. We probably just had an older, chill Jim Carrey and the performance artist surfing the controversy while the internet does what the internet always does, right? We love those conspiracy theories, those crazy things, you know? Of course, I'm not saying you should always believe or not believe in conspiracy theories, but that the internet loves them, that's a fact. And of course, theories involving a body double or a clone have existed for many years. It's happened with various artists like Paul McCartney, Avril Lavigne, Selena Gomez, and even Michael Jackson. Anyway, notice one more thing that says a lot about our current moment. This whole story only works because deep down, everyone already suspects everything. The secret files of the Epstein case are there to prove that one of the most absurd conspiracy theories was in fact true. So today, we can't just discredit any theory that pops up. And maybe, just maybe, this is the real performance here. And if Jim Carrey is laughing at all this, wouldn't that be the perfect joke? Did you fall for the theory? Did you actually believe something happened to the real Jim Carrey and that was an imposter? Comment down below so I can know. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell because I'm going to cover any news involving superheroes so you always stay in the loop. Thank you so much for being here for this video. For those of you who are new and found the channel through this video, I hope you enjoy our wide variety of superhero videos. I'm heading out. Until next time.